Thank you so much for joining us. We're now into hour number 2. Dan Bongino, the former Secret Service agent who has spoken out for the Second Amendment eloquently, will be popping in to join us at the bottom of the hour. You've heard Dr. Pachinik on the last 3 shows in a row, and he definitely is a very interesting person with a long history at the highest levels of the, quote, intelligence community. And the whole government and homeland security system has become like a movie star thing, where they're secret agents and they're cool because they have this title. And it's all just a bunch of bad liars who are bringing drugs into the country and building a prison state, basically reintroducing slavery to America and exporting predatory government everywhere because these people don't know how to produce anything. They're the opposite of a renaissance. They are an authoritarian cancer. And you've got people like Dr. Pachinik, who's, you can go look up news articles where they, finger him overthrowing governments and manipulating the communists to kill the prime minister of Italy and, right there running the Camp David Accords at the start of Delta Force. I mean, he really is an insider. And he's here, I first came on with this like 12 years ago because I saw a blurb where he'd put out on his website that bin Laden had died a long time ago, and he showed even mainstream articles admitting that he was dying of kidney failure a year before, CBS News and stuff. So I called and got him on, and that created a storm in the Council on Foreign Relations. I'll put it to you that way. And a bunch of stuff happened behind the scenes that I'm not at liberty to discuss. But you need to understand, ladies and gentlemen, the Pentagon listens to this show. Okay, and I'm not bragging. For me, I'm just a regular guy, puts his pants on, one leg at a time. In fact, one of my biggest problems is I don't put on airs and act like I'm on a power trip, which to the general public means everything nowadays, like a peacock or a parrot, displaying its feathers. We under-promise, over-deliver here. We're making history, and I say that so people know we're like on a trench run through the Death Star. And this is not a joke. I don't know how anybody out there can be bored. I don't know how anybody can sit there and watch our criminal government give the reactors to make the A-bombs in North Korea 17 years ago, bipartisan. Here's the deal. The elite are dysfunctional. They've got a cosmology and a philosophy of eugenics, but they're not serious people, even in their own ideology. They're just a bunch of crooks. They've just WikiLeaked a whole bunch of documents, millions of pages of it, they're saying. And it's stuff in Kissinger talking about all the crimes he's committing and how, we can do the criminal stuff right away, the illegal stuff right away, that's a quote, but the unconstitutional stuff will have to wait till later. And that's why they make fun of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights all day, because if you follow the Bill of Rights and Constitution, it binds down tyrants. The only problem is it produces so much freedom and so much wealth that everybody becomes decadent slobs. And when you're fat, dumb, and happy, you don't care anymore. 1.7 million diplomatic cables released with Herr Kissinger in there. I had tried everything. I'd cut back the amount of food I was eating. I was lifting weights and jogging, but nothing was working. My body was literally starving for minerals and trace elements as well as key vitamins. And as soon as I had that, I immediately could eat half of what I was eating previously and be satisfied. Now, there are hundreds of great products at InfoWarsTeam.com, but I want to point out the 3 that have helped me lose 37 pounds in just 2 months. Products like Beyond Tangy Tangerine, Pollen Burst, and Rebound. When I started taking the Tangy Tangerine and other products every day, I lost more than 37 pounds in just 2 months. Now that's results. I want to challenge my listeners to go to InfoWarsTeam.com and to order just 3 of their products, and you will see the changes in the way you look, feel, and in your appetite almost immediately. Start your journey to health and wellness today. InfoWarsTeam.com. There's a lot of amazing news out there today. You know, some of it is just so ridiculous. You know, it came out in USA Today a few years ago that 73% of Obama's Twitter followers are fake. And of course they're fake. And now it's come out that Obama doesn't control his own Twitter account. Well, of course he doesn't. The guy is a total and complete puppet. And all of this, you know, why does North Korea love to grandstand and threaten to nuke? Why does the West love to grandstand and say we're on the edge of World War III? Because it gives government more power no matter what country you're in. Why did Homeland Security a month ago say, cut Homeland Security funding and terrorists will attack? Because they can never reverse their takeover. They've just got to expand it and expand it and expand it. They want to wreck society so they can consolidate it. That's what authoritarian, centralized systems always do over and over. And there's articles out about the Democrats freaking out over Obamacare as their constituents learn that it doubles the price on average, that it doesn't cover pre-existing, and that they're just going to get cut from full-time to part-time. And as doctors and people quit in mass. This is what it looks like when you let the ogres take over. All they know how to do is steal stuff, not build anything, not do anything. You think the government class is going to work hard? You think the corporate class that works with government at the top? No. Why should they work hard? Why should they innovate? If they can just shut down their competition because they control the government. You become North Korea when you have this type of system. When you have this type of system in place. I want to open the phones up for first-time callers here to give me your take on just how insane this world has gotten. You heard the clip we've played? MSNBC host, your kids belong to the collective. MSNBC host, your kids belong to the collective. And they now run promos saying your kids belong to the government. This is the incredible creepiness of what our society has become. And not only are we held hostage by Kim Jong-un, who, you know, Japan's freaking out because they can actually be hit by his nukes. There's no doubt about that. And just as government creates this abomination where this nobody joke is threatening to nuke the U.S. and Japan, it's the same thing where these nobody jokes that have gotten in control of government are threatening terror attacks if we don't give them more money and let them stick their hands down our pants as an act of domination. That's what a crazy, you know, joke all this has become. I mean, look at this Fox News headline. Army manual, evangelicals are religious extremists. A U.S. Army training instructor, well, no, it's the manual. This is Southern Poverty Law Center manual. It's what it is. I've seen it 100 times, literally. Listed evangelical Christians and Catholicism as examples of religious extremism along with Al-Qaeda, Hamas, during a briefing with the Army Reserve Unit based in Pennsylvania. Click here for the most important, and then it goes through it. We find this offensive to have evangelical Christians and Catholic Church to be listed among it, and then it goes on. Army spokesman George Wright told Fox News that it was an isolated incident not condoned by the Department of the Army. Pure bull. Pure bull. That is Southern Poverty Law Center. I even recognize the way they format the text. If you pull up the MIAC reports, the Homeland Security reports, the FBI reports, there are literally over 100 modern FBI manuals. And it's all the same font, officially put out by the Southern Poverty Law Center. The ADL has a hand in it. I mean, it's just, I instantly see it and know who did it. These are foreign groups who are here saying, if you're a gun owner, a conservative, a returning veteran, a Christian, period, you're a terrorist. These people badmouth George Washington. And you know what? Folks, if you want to live under this, that's fine. I mean, I cannot believe that people go, Alex Jones is radical. Alex Jones is scary. Alex Jones is spooky. Yeah, that's a Glenn Beck quote. I'm spooky. I'm spooky because I recognize what's going on, and I'm freaking out about it, saying, hey, we're in deep trouble. No, I'm pointing out stuff that is spooky. I'm not spooky. I'm talking about things that are spooky. Real spooky. I mean, we've got a bunch of people that have studied authoritarianism and that are on giant, out-of-control power trips who really want to have a pure authoritarian takeover. Toll-free number to join us, 800-259-9231, 800-259-9231. Guys, can you queue up Joe Biden calling for a new world order? And then I saw headlines in Gawker and a bunch of other places saying, oh, Christmas has come early. The conspiracy tards are going to have fun with this because it doesn't exist. They had a public policy poll, that's Democratic Party group, out last week saying, do you believe in the imaginary New World Order? And they're like, shocking, 1/3 believe in the imaginary New World Order. I mean, it's like saying, you know, 1/3 believe in the imaginary Atlantic Ocean. I mean, it's just frustrating. It's like you're informed and you're smart, and people marvel at it. I mean, so much of why we have a problem in this society is people aren't really stupid. They're ignorant, and they're lazy, and they don't want to know. I mean, I sit there and people watch. I went and swam in the river yesterday, and after I was drying off, I watched people for about 10 minutes sitting there drying off before I got in the car. I shot a video report as well while I was drying off. It's Of Ants and Men is the name of it. And I watched how insecure men are. Big, tough-looking men and women with their kids. And just everybody's so scared of what people think of them and how they look. And it's just such chains. There's incredible chains on people to where they can laugh at you and go, you believe in authoritarianism, it doesn't exist. Ah, oh, let's laugh at Charlton Heston. He believed in freedom. Ah. And a normal person, a well-adjusted person, looks at that and says, look at that sophomoric propaganda. But the propaganda is sophomoric because it's targeting sophomoric arrested development people. You know, we had the Secret Service show up here again this morning, and none of the managers were here because Rob Dew works till about 7 or 8 at night, so he gets here at 10:30. I was actually here. I was out there taking a shower because I went and exercised this morning. I got a shower back there. And Tim Frugier was over on the other side, so they just told him, yeah, Alex should be here in 10 minutes. I was actually there about 2 minutes. And I come back out there because they have a subpoena for an idiot, you know, that went on the Infowars.com comments and said he wanted to go after somebody. I don't know what yet. And I told people, I said, they didn't come back in 10 minutes, of course. And they got sheriff deputies driving around the parking lot right now. And, you know, let me tell you how government works. If they can get you to not take a subpoena, they'll go say we didn't take the subpoena and then SWAT team us and grab all our computers, you know, try to shut us down for a while. Now, if somebody else up above them will say, don't do that, don't give Alex Jones attention. See, I'm not worried. I'm not worried. Whatever happens to me, I'm trying to do the right thing for the children, the million-plus children that CPS takes every year and rapes and you know, Jocelyn Elders, you know, where they teach them how to masturbate. I mean, it's a pervert guild. I mean, you think I'm worried about my life when I know you've got kids pinned down all over the country, raping the daylights out of them right now, and I feel guilty that I'm not kicking down doors, stopping them right now, and I just sit here trying to wake people up? You think I care? You think I'm worried about you? You think I'm like you, a coward, a sack of garbage? You think I'm like you? I'm not like you. I'm a red-blooded person who is not even near good, but that simply doesn't want to hurt innocent people. You people are a bunch of delusional scum. And I'm going to tell you something. Society is going to collapse. This country is going to be judged. So you have all your partial birth abortions and you shoot your kids up and watch them have convulsions and brain damage them. This country is run by psycho killer demons, folks. That's all I got to tell you. That's all I got to tell you. And you know what? I seem crazy to people because I'm awake and I see it. That's why, at first, it's just so shocking. He yelled at Piers Morgan, we don't need to be like that and say, I know you want my guns because you want to enslave me. But you notice nobody else invited me on. You notice everybody else is scared to death. And I went down and confronted Piers Morgan when he was in Houston, walked in behind the scenes. There's video of it. And he jumped when he saw me. And then later off camera, his people said, no, it was the highest ratings we ever got. It's on record. But we're not going to have you back on. We're trying to get you back on, but peers and higher ups, this is with the producer in front of my crew, the higher up just say it's giving you too much attention. Exactly. If I was losing, they would have me everywhere. I'd be sticking my tongue out on the cover of Time magazine. But ladies and gentlemen, we're not losing. And we're not winning because we're something special. We're winning because we've got a pulse and we're not pure evil. That's all you got to do is be able to recognize good versus evil. 2 + 2 = 4. If you can do that, if you can just recognize the evil running rampant all over the place, if you can simply recognize that and simply understand that, then everything else falls into place. But if you can't recognize that we're in deep trouble, you'll never recognize it. As stuff gets worse and worse, you've already said nothing's wrong, so you'll go down with the ship. You won't even fix the holes in the ship because you're in delusion. In Egypt, in Libya, in Syria, NATO, CENTCOM, U.S. military forces are arming and trading al-Qaeda, who are blowing up and burning churches as we speak. New videos every day of Christian families begging as their heads are chopped off, as mosques are burned to the ground. And al-Qaeda has given U.S. satellite data to carry out the operations. Now, see, I guess that is spooky, what I just said. It's true. Because our government is gone, ladies and gentlemen. It's totally taken over by foreign mega banks that are completely disconnected from reality and get away with anything they want. And China's pure evil. Russia's pure evil. It's all evil. Having a country not completely run by evil is extremely rare. I got the famous basketball player Mike Glenn, known as the Stinger, coming on. Really interesting guy, so I wanted to get him on to talk about a host of issues. Antonio Buehler is going to be in studio with us. Yep, Austin says you can't film police. You'll be indicted. They spin it and say, well, he was interfering with the police. Yeah, they run over and start grabbing on his camera. And so they've had a grand jury indict him. And they tried to tell me 3 weeks ago we couldn't hand out magazines in Austin. You know, I don't have to drive far now to see National Guard running checkpoints and traffic control in Austin. I don't have to go far to find TSA doing checkpoints, searching bags and cars without warrants. I can just go like 2 miles from here. Told you it was coming, 12 years ago, but now I can just go down and show you. And then I know what else is going to come. And then the weird Enviro inspectors with their badges, the little green uniforms and badges, are going to order their way into my home. And if I tell them they can't come, well, they'll just come with a SWAT team and kill me. Because they're the good guys. Now they get on the news and tell me my kids belong to them. I knew their textbooks have said that forever, but now they're just openly saying it. And the yuppies will just go whatever they think's popular. Oh, the state runs kids? Well, here's my kids. Oh, you'll arrest me if I don't take shots? There's no law, but even if there was a law, it'd be unconstitutional. Okay, fine. Lie to me and say it's the law, I got to take shots. I mean, it's criminals have gotten away with everything, and now they're going to take your pension fund. By the way, that's being announced, that they're going to take rich people's pension funds of after-tax money. Only the rich people, of course. And when they're done, they'll get your money, too. This is the season of the takeover, though. 100+ million people out of work. 50 million on food stamps. And that number's going to just increase until they got everybody on the dole. You'll either work for the government, or you'll be a bureaucrat with the government, or you'll work for a corporation that's fed by the government, or you'll be on welfare. And who do they demonize in all the Homeland Security and FEMA training manuals? Conservative, libertarian, returning veterans, gun owners, Christians. It says evangelical Christians, Christian Catholics, period. You're with Al-Qaeda. Fox News. Why, I was sent from Phoenix in 1999, famous FBI training manual for police, and it said, those that believe in the Constitution, those that call themselves constitutionalists or make frequent references to the Constitution, they are terrorists. And if you see someone talking like that, call the FBI. And you can turn on now the sitcoms and dramas, and every show, if somebody talks about their rights, everybody laughs at them and points. And the public is so peer pressure driven, oh, well, I better not. Someone will laugh at me. That's the end of the world. You shouldn't fear cowardly jellyfish who don't have their own opinion because they're so dumbed down, them laughing at you. It's like having a... Do you get mad when a squirrel taunts you and barks at you and laughs at you? Squirrels do that. They actually kind of have their own laugh. I mean, do you get mad when a squirrel? No, it's a squirrel. Who cares about it? I mean, do you care when some victim? It'd be like if you had some mentally ill victim laughing at you on the side of the street corner. You see schizophrenics talking to themselves, laughing. Like, oh, don't laugh at me, you schizophrenic. I feel bad. You're laughing at me. And that's what it is. I mean, you've got mentally ill people trained to accept total tyranny. Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the site, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want.